In this lecture, we're going to talk about the hook, a technique to get the reader reading. A hook involves opening your book with a great scene to hook potential readers and get them to start reading. Potential readers will look inside the book and read part of the book to decide whether to buy your book. So the hook is an important element in generating book sales. And we're going to achieve it via 3 techniques. First, we're going to write a great opening sentence. People will open your book and they'll read from the beginning, and the first sentence is where you've got to hook them. So hook them from the very beginning into reading your book. Begin with your best scene. I remember critiquing a short story by a fellow student once who talked about all of this backstory and then finally had a phone call come in which someone had died. That was the best scene of the entire story. So I told him, begin with that and then write around it. You can go back to backstory and you can write about what happens next. So sometimes writing a great opening involves beginning your story in the middle. Begin with your best stuff. And with that said, let's jump over to Word and take a look at some examples. Check out this sentence from horror writer Robert McCammon. It was hell season, and the air smelled of burning children. Burning children? What kind of place is this? That sentence grabbed me when I first read it. How about if Johnny had known what the evening held in store for him, he would have stayed in bed with the covers pulled over his head, rather than ever venturing out. This is an example of foreshadowing. You're alluding or hinting at things that are going to happen later in the story. Something bad's going to happen to Johnny where he would rather have stayed in bed if he knew it was going to happen. And how about this one? As the sun rose, the crows gathered as if anticipating a feast. This is also foreshadowing. It's another technique of it in which you create a sense of foreboding by having something ominous happen that suggests that something ominous is about to occur in your story. The gathering of crows for a feast is an ominous suggestion of things to come. Mark held his phone in his hand and stood with his mouth open, finding it hard to accept what he had just been told. He had been told that his wife was dead. It had been mere months ago that he'd celebrated his 50th anniversary of his marriage to his beloved Annie. So here, you're opening with the most dramatic part of the story. This is just like that critique that I told you earlier about a story a fellow student had written. You want to begin with the grabber. Begin with the phone call, and then you can go back and you can write about what happened in the past. Timmy didn't remember much about the day he died. How do you remember about the day you died? That's a catchy topic for a horror story. And with those examples, you should now have a good idea of how to write the hook for your book. And up next, we're going to look at cliffhangers, another technique for keeping the reader reading. In this lecture, we're going to learn about cliffhangers, another technique to keep the reader reading. A cliffhanger involves starting a perilous scene, but delaying the conclusion to keep the reader reading. You should end every chapter with a cliffhanger. Now, they're called cliffhangers from the olden days when they used to show shorts during movies. And inevitably, a car would go driving off the cliff with the hero in it at the end of the little movie. And then you'd have to show up next week to see the fact that the hero actually got out of the car and is hanging from the edge of the cliff. So what you want to do is leave your heroes hanging and create tense situations that you don't resolve. Now, there are 3 techniques we're going to talk about for achieving this. The first is to write unresolved peril. That's what a cliffhanger is all about. You come to a certain part in the scene and you create tension, you create peril, you create a dire situation, and you don't resolve it. Now, you may resolve it in the next chapter, you may not resolve it for several chapters and keep the reader hanging. It's that anticipation, it's that need to know that keeps the reader reading. Now, you can resolve the peril, as I said, in the next scene or wait till later. You may want to keep your readers hanging for a while to really keep them in that cliffhanger tense situation. End every chapter with a cliffhanger. What you want to do is a chapter is a logical break for people to stop reading your book. And if they stop reading your book, they may never pick it up again. So end your chapter with a cliffhanger that will force them to read on through to the next chapter. This is one of the important keys to writing a page turner. Now let's jump over to Word and take a look at some examples. Claudia couldn't believe her eyes when she opened the box to find out what was inside. Wow! Imagine ending a chapter with that. What was inside the box? The reader wants to know, and they'll continue reading on to find out. Johnny turned the steering wheel hard to the right in an attempt to make the curve, but it was too late. The car plummeted over the precipice, bursting into a ball of flames when it hit the valley floor far below. Oh no, did our hero just die? Well, this is that classic over the cliff scene, and what you want to do is soon afterward, Johnny was fortunate to have been thrown from the vehicle before it plunged over the cliff. Now he's hanging from a tree growing out of the side of the cliff. So these are cliffhangers. Build tension and then don't resolve it. End every chapter with a cliffhanger so that the reader will be prompted to continue on reading with the next chapter. Next, we're going to look at foreshadowing, a technique that can be used as a cliffhanger, but there are other applications. It involves alluding to exciting things to happen in your story in the future.